The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
ESPN Jets insider Rich Cimini joined my ESPN Radio show over the weekend and provided the latest on the Hassan Reddick situation. We will talk about that and much more when Robbie Sabo, the co-founder of JetX, JetsXFactor.com, joins the show. It's the Jake Asman Show. Let's hit it and get it started. Man, our Jets are primed for a historic season.
Can you say why America is the greatest country in the world?
The New York Jets.
We bleed Jets green each and every day. This is not the same old Jets. We have Aaron freaking Rodgers. We have Garrett Wilson. Let's go. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinnen Williams. The Jets bandwagon is loaded. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show. Here we go, Jet fans. Welcome in, everybody. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Shout out to the Asmaniacs for helping us reach a new emoji threshold. Now the question is, what emoji should we add? Comment your suggestions, and we will come up with something that this fan base, the Asmaniacs, can get behind. Speaking of the Asmaniacs, I'm looking forward to meeting so many of you in Hicksville on Long Island this upcoming Thursday. 44 Bethpage Road, Hicksville, New York. There'll be a food truck. There'll be a bar. There'll be an opportunity to take pictures with me, hang out, support a really good cause. More info on that when we get closer. More info on that when you're actually there. But it's free to attend, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And it's all brought to you by nyinjurysolutions.com. With that being said, let's bring on today's guest back in his normal spot on the show. No training camp, no mini camp, no OTAs. So Robbie Sabo able to join us on a Tuesday morning. What's up, Robbie?
Is that Harry from Dumb and Dumber shouting at the New York Jets? That's number one. Number two, how far is Hicksville? How deep is it in on the island there?
I would say it's not too deep. It is like medium range deepness. Like it's Nassau County. It's right near the train station. So It is not too bad. If you're coming from Manhattan, I would say you could get there in under an hour.
It's not bad. I mean, didn't know there was a Hicksville in New York. That's interesting, number one.
That's right.
That sounds like a good time. Once you said it, I said, what am I doing Thursday? Is there a way to get down there? But we'll see. We'll see. I'll give it a shot.
Well, if you're there, you will be swarmed by
party.
Jet fans.
The party commences,
yes,
my friends.
Speaking of parties, the Jets Hassan Reddick situation. It is not a party. In fact, Hassan Reddick did not attend any of the Jets off-season workouts here. Now, I do have some audio I want to play for you, Robbie. I had Rich Cimini on my ESPN show on, I guess this was Sunday morning. This was my national show that I did. And we had Rich on, and we asked him about the Hassan Reddick situation, and this was Rich giving us the latest.
I think the Jets were surprised that he didn't show up for anything this offseason. I think they were under the impression that, when they made that trade, that he was good with the final year of his existing contract, which is paying him in excess of $14 million this year. And so I think they were a little blindsided by him not showing up. And do I think he'll be there in training camp? Yeah, I think so. I think they'll probably be able to find a common ground, some sort of Band-Aid contract. I do not believe the Jets are going to give him a full-blown extension. I think it'll have to be some sort of, like I said, a Band-Aid, something, patchwork that could just get him into camp and make him happy. I mean, you don't want to – that, too, sets a bad look because you don't want to trade for a guy and then he's miserable. You want to make a good faith gesture to show that you're invested in him. So I think that'll happen.
So Rich giving us the latest there. Robbie, what stood out from what Rich said, your thoughts on those comments?
I wish I could disagree with Rich somewhere, but I'm fully in line with what he's saying. I think they were blindsided. I think the communication was there initially, but when you're Douglas, you're making this deal. I think it's blown out of proportion a bit because he has the ultimate trump card. This is the last year of his deal. He has to perform for more money. What's he going to do? Hold out? It's hard to name examples, but when history goes on and the years pile up, things get stuck in the back of your mind that you just remember. And as of late, there have been so many examples of guys holding out, making noise only to play because they have no other option. So they announce their authority in terms of discontent, but then have to show up. And I think that's one of those situations. Will they reach out to try to find some common ground? Yes, I do. I believe that will happen. No long term. I don't think that's happening. No shot. I'm on the train where I don't think DJ Reed's getting a long-term deal. Sorry, Jets fans who love Reed, but that's just the cruel nature of this business. Carter, yes. Reed, no. So no long-term, but they're going to try to find some common ground. And then with that tweet with Reddick, trying to calm everyone down, the dude has to play, Jake. There's no other way around it.
At the end of the day, I completely agree with the idea that he's not going to miss regular season games. Like, he's not going to cut off his nose despite his face when he needs to play to get paid, if not by the Jets, then by someone. I do think he is not going to play, though, for $14.5 million. So I think the Jets and Reddick need to do what Rich said. And I think that's where this is headed, right? More guarantees in the contract, a Band-Aid-like contract where there's incentives so you can make some more money. I think that's where this ends up going. And look, it wouldn't surprise me if the Jets restructure a couple contracts to create some extra money to then pay Reddick, because I think Rich is right. Well, they don't have to do anything. I don't think you want this guy to be disgruntled showing up when you're all in to try and win the Super Bowl, because you want this guy to be, locked in on his best behavior. And I think there's value in him being locked in on his best behavior because you want him to be able to teach Will McDonald, who's going to be here long after Hassan Reddick.
Yeah, the good news is he is a vet and he has the numbers to back it up. So if you go with a Band-Aid deal, 2 or 3 years, but it still works out in terms of a short-term deal where you could move on after this year or after the next year, after 2025, that's fine. He's made a name for himself to a degree where no one's going to be upset about that. No one's going to raise any eyebrows or questions. So I expect that. And like you said, you really don't have to do anything because you're going to have to play. But for team purposes and culture purposes, I do see the two sides coming together.
Will the Jets and Hassan Reddick come to terms on a new deal? And what type of deal is it? Could they just give him, the Danielle Hunter type of deal that the Texans just gave to the free agent pass rusher this offseason? I mean, that's really the question. I will say this, though. If it is true that Reddick made it clear to the Jets that he was going to be there and now is pulling this, it's not a great look if we're being real.
I agree. And, we're saying there's no way he doesn't play because he has to. I think 99% of the cases that's true. The one wild card here is Reddick is a different kind of dude, I guess I would say. I know we don't know him too well, coming from Philly, but if there is a guy to jump off the deep end, perhaps it could be him. But I sincerely doubt it, especially with that tweet. This is run-of-the-mill business, and Douglas and the Jets camp getting with his camp. I think we're in June, Jake. I think the storylines are few and far between, and they get magnified.
Bang Mateo with a super chat starts us off and cuts the line. Reddick provides Bosa's production, won't be cheap. Yeah, but the Jets also don't have to do anything. They have his contract rights for another year, and he has to play at some point. He's not going to miss regular season games. And also with the new CBA, he's fined $50K a day, and it's non-waiverable. So he is going to show up at some point, even without a new deal. I think there's something to be said for giving him something so you get him on the same page as you could get through the year. And then if he has a great year, you could pay him next offseason. But the key is just getting him into camp and going from there.
Yeah, and he's also 30. So he might have Bosa's production, but he's not Bosa's market value. NFL, would he get a long-term deals elsewhere? Yes, for sure. But, it's not apples to apples exactly right there.
Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. Alfonso Stackhouse. Shout out to you, Alfonso. You're always telling people the right moves to make. 56 likes. We got 200 people watching. The math is not mathing, folks. Hit that like button and help support the channel. Keep sending in your super chats. If you write one in, we will stop the show and go to it as quickly as possible. Gustbuster hotline is open, so we'll do some calls as well. Robbie, I want to get your thoughts on the NFL documentary that came out over the weekend that covered the NFL draft. The Jets had two opportunities to make a deal with the LA Rams. The first offer, and I'll put up the second offer on the screen. The first offer from Les Snead that the Jets turned down was pick 19 and pick 52 for LA to move up from 19 to 10. Jets said no. Jets then do the deal, as we know, with the Minnesota Vikings. They pick up a fourth and a fifth to move back one spot. Les Snead then gets on the phone and says, okay, we will offer you our third round pick as well. So 19, 52, and 99 for 11 and 185. Jets ultimately say no. We know how it works out. They take Olu Fashanu from Penn State. Your thoughts on this and your thoughts on maybe what could have been if the Jets were making this deal?
It's so funny. Jets fans are just sick and tired of June. JetX did this story, and I noticed some comments somewhere. Maybe it was Facebook or I don't know, but the comments were, "Oh my God, things are slow in June. You're talking about the draft, which was so many weeks ago or a month ago or whatever." And I actually responded something I hardly do on social media, and I said, "Listen, guys, this is brand new news. I don't know what to tell you." People just looking at the headlines, not reading. But two things there. I think it's okay to pass. I think it was the right move. I mean, they're first of all scared off with Broderick Jones and what happened the year prior. That's number one. Number two, they loved Olu. And if you love a guy and that much, and they did with Fashanu, you can't take that chance. He's not going to be there at 19.
Look, to me, it really comes down to simply how do you feel about Olu versus the other offensive tackle prospects? And once we got some word that Troy Fautanu, who ended up going at pick 20 to Pittsburgh, there were some medical concerns with him. If you're the Jets, you can't take a lineman with medical concerns after the Mekhi Becton experience, after you've led the NFL in injuries on your O-line the last two seasons. You couldn't afford to make that type of pick. So I think that almost removed, Fautanu from the conversation. Plus, there was the debate, is he truly a left tackle? Is he more of a guard? And then after that, you look at James Morgan, Tyler Guyton. That's a big drop-off in the eyes of many compared to Fashanu. So I think when you really factor all that in, you nailed it. If you love the player, you take said player, and that's how they ended up with Olu. Now, that being said, I don't even think it's that big of a deal they didn't get that second-round pick, because as we learned, the Jets, as early as pick 50, were trying to trade back into round 2 so they could take Malachi Corley. So this really would have been, Guyton, Fautanu, or Morgan. Malachi still would have been their pick, and then they would have had an extra third-rounder. Like, to me, it's really, when you say it like that, it's not that much where it's like, how could you not take this deal? I think I agree with you. I think they made the right decision.
Yeah, 52 is enticing. I have to admit that is an enticing pick to bypass. But I didn't even mention it. And I think that's the best point, above Broderick Jones and what happened the year prior is the injuries. And if you're targeting offensive line, which they clearly were, maybe they take a Dunze if he falls, but other than that, offensive line, they made the right choice. And I'm okay with it. I'm good with it. They got Corley. Corley will be a huge storyline this offseason. Some fans are getting mad at me that I keep preaching Gibson above Corley, but hey, that's the natural order of things. He's a rookie. He has a long way to go in terms of the entire route tree, reading defenses, and Gibson is it's great news that Gibson is really improved in the route running area. So I love the Corley pick. I'd be shocked if he doesn't get more than 50% of the snaps by the end of the season, maybe not early on. So I just, the way it turned out, I thought it was great, the draft.
Hit the like button if you're tuning in live right now. Make sure you turn on gift receipts, or you could just become an Asmaniac the old-fashioned way by hitting the join button on the left-hand side of your screen. Interesting question here from Bill on this. He says, does Fashanu have to eventually be a Pro Bowler to justify not doing that second deal with the Rams?
No, not technically, because we don't know what the it's a good question, but not technically because we don't know what the other alternative would have been. I think Corley factors into that as well. If Corley busts, then if Fashanu's not a Pro Bowler and Corley busts, then perhaps they win awry.
Look, I think it really comes down to like if Olu is just like you hit on the pick. I mean, you live with the results, and also it's not even just Olu. He's going to be compared to the other linemen they could have had. So in this scenario, it would have been Guyton, right? It would have been Fashanu, and it would have been Morgan. Those are the three they could have had if they had done this deal. So that's what Olu. That's who Olu, I should say, will be compared to.
Yeah, not even Mims. I mean, Mims went before that too, if my memory serves correct. And listen, even we can't. The truth of the matter is, we can't even evaluate it this season. I mean, Fashanu is one of those picks where he's not exactly raw, where he's 100% project. Like a 18-year-old lotto pick in the NBA. But the situation in which it's set up, where he's the third tackle, Tyron Smith is a beast. You got Morgan Moses, a vet, still doing his thing on the right side. It's going to take time. So I wish we could fast forward the clock on Fashanu, because if he doesn't see any playing time, fans are going to freak out. Another bust. He stinks. He's awful. Just be patient with Olu. That's the only thing I think Jets fans should be.
Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Today's Jake Asman show is presented by Huga House. See this hat? Just got it sent to me. Aaron Rodgers rocking the navy blue Huga House hat that is now officially back in stock. If you want the hat I'm wearing, if you want any of the hats that Huga House has to offer, go to hugahouse.com. Use my promo code Asman at checkout. You'll save 15%. However, if you buy one hat with promo code Asman, you could get the second hat of your choice 30% off. So they got a great deal cooking right now. Once again, hugahouse.com. All the info is in the description for this video. It's also on your screen. HUEGA house.com. Promo code Asman at checkout, and you could save yourself 15% off. Let's bring Robbie back involved here. And look, a lot of people want in on the conversation, but Bang Mateo seems to be the only one that wants to super chat the negatives. Death, taxes, Bang Mateo being negative. He says Corley's limited to a running back route tree is concerning. All right, Robbie, you watched Malachi Corley in person more than Bang Mateo has. What did you see from Malachi Corley?
Nah, it's not that he's limited to that. It's that he hasn't gotten going yet. It's been OTAs and minicamp. And, sidebar here with Rodgers, everyone freaking out about minicamp. It's wordplay. Minicamp and OTAs have been exactly the same. And that's a really good thing in Jets land. I mean, they started hard, and they kept it rolling through minicamp. So the fact that Rodgers missed those 2 minicamp days, just a mandatory minicamp wordplay stuff, it's ridiculous, because OTAs were just as hard and important, and they were going at it. And Corley, we need a summer out of him. We need to see his consistency and what he's viewing in terms of defensive coverage on a play-by-play basis. So there's no way to judge him right now. Remember, Sauce Gardner was incredible. The first time you laid eyes on him, you knew he was special, and he was splitting reps with Bryce Hall into August, his rookie year. And everybody knew it was ridiculous, but that's what you do with rookies. So right now, he's not getting any play with the ones. Gibson is, and I'd say he's the number 2 with Mike Williams out right now. And that's okay. Just let him go. Let him figure it out. And I think he can. I mean, he's a kid who works hard, who wants to run dudes over. And guess what? Even if he doesn't figure it out at first, he's going to be extremely valuable in terms of the sets you get him in on and the concepts, whether he gets the ball or not.
Excellent point by you. And look, Corley is a guy that will benefit when the pads come on, because the way he plays is all yak, physicality, and you can't really do that without shoulder pads on at these practices in June.
Yes. And remember, Debo experienced the same thing as a rookie. It takes a while. And Debo now would never be questioned in terms of reading defenses and coverages. His route running, I mean, we even saw it as a rookie. His one-on-one route running was stellar, and it opened eyes really quickly, but it took some time, in terms of the whole picture. And that's what it's going to have to be with Corley. And I think he will figure it out eventually. We shouldn't even evaluate anything up to this point. So don't be concerned about Corley one bit.
Super chat from K Brock, the Jet fan, who's just being nice. How about that? Thanks for all you do on the show, Jake. Jet the F up. This is our year. JETS. Jets, Jets, Jets. Let's go. Amen, K Brock. Amen.
2024, if you're a fan of a team, you kind of look for patterns. Like the Rangers fan was thinking, all right, 2024, 30 years from 94. It just makes sense. It's destiny. I haven't been able to figure that out with the Jets 2024 yet. Maybe there's something there that we're all overlooking. 24, Revis's number, maybe. Johnny Sample, who was a big part of 68. But other than that, can't think of anything else.
Hit the like button if you're just tuning in right now. More comments and questions for you. This one's from our guy, Connor at NY Flight Jets Talk. Robbie, would you put Corley over Brownlee on the depth chart?
Yes. Yeah, 100%. And the reps reflect that right now in OTAs and minicamp, which is a good sign. But they're sort of playing together. I mean, that's the grouping with Irv Charles. But yeah, above Brownlee and Irv Charles for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, right? Like
Yeah.
they drafted him for a reason. They were trying to trade out for him. So I'm
remember
not surprised
too,
about that.
he got banged up too in OTAs. He had a minor injury. He wasn't signed yet either. I don't even know if he is he still unsigned? The lone rookie to be unsigned? I'm not even sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So nothing to panic about. It's a mid-round Jets receiver, not second round. The curse, Devin Smith and Stephen Hill and all those guys. But third round, close enough. So the panic meter is always going to be high.
Bang Mateo writes in, I don't get why Josh Allen gets all this hate from our fan base. Bang. This can't be a real comment, can it?
Buffalo. It's Buffalo. Come on.
He's the quarterback of a division rival, and the Jets have beaten him with Zach Wilson the last 2 years. So it's very easy for us to be like, how good is he really? Like, this can't be a real comment. If it is, there's only one thing that needs to be done.
Just shut the fuck up. I did not ask for the dumb opinion that came out of your ass, so shut the fuck up.
What else needs to be said?
No one who experienced the Thurman Thomas, Jim Kelly Bills would ever even come close to saying something like that. And quite honestly, you don't need to experience those guys to understand. But I think Bang Mateo just wanted to get a, hey, look at me shot in there real quick to start the day.
Just wanted to go right to Stupid Town. Big fella, super chat. He cuts the line. Robbie, give me some news on Isaiah Davis, please.
Oh, dude, he's no nonsense. I wrote about it with the minicamp recap at JetX. When you're a coach in youth football, high school football, even in high school, it's hard to identify running backs. I mean, you have an image of a guy you want to play running back, but that's just the first step. The second step is making sure they're not afraid, that they attack things with no fear. And even if you have the most skilled athletic running back and you say you want to put the ball in his hands, it doesn't automatically work because he has to hit the hole with authority. He has to run downhill. He's got to be a beast with no fear. Hitting the hole is a legit thing in football, especially at high school. It's very hard to find. And in the NFL, all these backs could pretty much do it, but there's different levels. I mean, some guys don't hit the hole as hard as others. Ron Dane, shout out. Sometimes he didn't for his physical size. Mm-hmm. There's examples like that. Christian Okoye, even for the really old guys in the beginning of his career, didn't hit it as hard as he eventually did. Isaiah Davis and Braylon Allen, man, they hit the hole hard. They're no nonsense. I think that's the best thing about them. They don't mess around. They don't fool around. They keep the legs chugging. And the most surprising part is they have been great out of the backfield in the receiving game. And that is a well-rounded feature, having those two and Breece Hall in the top three.
Bill Fond checks in with a super chat. 24 Freeman McNeil. Robbie, love your stuff. Jake, you have the best whack pack since old school Howard Stern. LOL. How can I become an Asmaniac? Well, Bill, I got good news for you, my man. You already are an Asmaniac. One, you're watching the show, and two, you are an official Asmaniac because you either paid for your membership or someone gifted it to you. That little badge next to your name means you are an Asmaniac, Bill. So thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the support. If you want to be a real Asmaniac, though, beyond YouTube, join the Patreon, patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. And you could join the Discord and chop it up with so many of the regular callers and people you see in the comment section in there. All right, let's open it up now. Go ahead, Robbie.
Who's that, Bill, you said?
Bill Fond is the guy's name. Yep.
Bill. Yeah, I've seen Bill Fond on Twitter, I think, or in the comments at JetX. You're going to eventually need, because he kind of has the Howard Stern memories and knowledge, you're going to need a whack pack whisperer, an Asmaniac whisperer who could round up the Asmaniacs, and maybe Bill Fond should put in an application.
Bill, we appreciate your support. All right, you ready for some calls, Robbie? Can you handle the Asmaniac callers today? Are you prepared?
Just be easy on me, guys.
All right, here we go. Gustbuster hotline's open. If you go to gustbuster.com, you could purchase the best umbrella in the universe, and you could use the promo code Jake, so you'll get 15% off on any of your umbrellas. Ricky NY starts us off. Hello, Ricky.
Hey, what's happening, Jake? Robbie?
Look at that Garrett jersey. Oh, man.
Yeah.
When did that bad boy come in?
It came yesterday. I made a big jersey order, and for whatever reason, they split up, and they're kind of trickling in one at a time. But this one came yesterday, and yeah, love it. Love it.
Yeah, that's looking pretty sharp. Like it.
Absolutely. And you know what? As far as the Olu pick goes, in regards to this trade, dude, if we landed a franchise left tackle at 11 overall, I mean, who on earth is going to complain about that? The thing that I like the most about this is whether you're talking about, Olu, not playing this year and learning from Tyron. If you're talking about, Corley having time to develop, we have Jordan Travis with time to develop. We're not having to throw these guys right out. We're going to be able to develop these guys. Not only is our roster top to bottom the most talented I have ever seen in my life as a Jets fan, but the pipeline is strong. Dude, we got the pipeline loaded up with guys that we can develop properly, that are going to be ready when they get out there, instead of just throwing them into the fire. So I think that's something that maybe some people are overlooking, which we shouldn't be. It's a beautiful position to be in, one that we haven't found ourselves in before. And you know what? JD's doing a kick-ass job. Only an idiot like Allen would want him fired. This year is going to be a hell of a year, and I cannot wait. As far as the Haason Reddick thing goes, Nick Faria said it best, I think. He did this same crap in Philly. When it comes time for training camp, he's going to show up, because at the end of the day, the guy wants more money, not less, and those fines are just too big for him to sit out. He's going to play. He's going to produce. I think he'll be a good teammate when he does show up. This is just how these guys negotiate these days. Us fans, we don't like it, but it's still a business at the end of the day. I'm not the least bit worried about him either. I have to agree with Bill's super chat. This is our year. Go Jets.
Ricky, I love it. I love it, Ricky. Let's go.
Reddick tipped his hand with that tweet, folks. It's listen, a tweet may not mean anything at the end of the day, but if you're, in his position, making noise, holding out, and you seriously mean business, you're not going to tweet that out to everyone. Relax. As Ricky just said, it's a tactic, and it's been done to death over the past decade, only for guys to play. So again, I still wouldn't worry about it. That's one. Two, talking to someone in the Jets organization last year, the topic came up about development. And no matter how you feel about the results, which have been terrible, and I mentioned it a couple shows ago with you, Jake, and I saw a comment that was scoffing at this claim of mine that they have developed nicely, because the comment was Zach Wilson, great development, blah, blah, blah. You look at the guys, they have developed, and it's there. AVT. Throw away the injuries, they have developed him into a solid line. Michael Carter II, DJ Reed wasn't this celebrated coming into the Jets. There are a lot of examples of guys they have developed, and that pipeline is strong, to Ricky's point.
Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. Gusbuster Hotline is open if you want to call in. I apologize to VR for whatever reason. This super chat slipped through the pipeline here. He wants to know, Robbie, your thoughts on Quantez Stiggers, because he thought he shined in camp, and all the reports seemingly have been positive about Stiggers. What did you see?
Yeah, Stiggers has been good. Let me try to think of instances. In one of the 2 minicamp practices, they were running 11-on-11 full teams up and down. A lot of situations, you just place it at a certain yard line and work off of that. This was a full 4-down situation where you go up and down the field. And Tyrod Taylor was playing quarterback, first team offense. They were moving it down the field. And the DB coach was working Stiggers and Eccles in with the first team once they got into the red zone. And I don't know why that was the case, but it was clear as day that they were doing it. I think because Stiggers, his red zone coverage has been tremendous this spring. There are multiple examples, once where he locked down Lazard to a point where it wasn't a flag, but he was maintaining contact in a sneaky way where Lazard couldn't get his head around in time on the pylon, short left pylon throw. So like a fade breakout to the flag from Aaron Rodgers, no less. And Stiggers has had at least 2 picks in the spring, and there haven't been a lot of picks with Rodgers out there, and Tyrod Taylor too, because he takes care of the ball. So I'm impressed with Stiggers. I like what I see.
Quantez Stiggers, a name to watch this summer in training camp. First State Jet says, Robbie, this team's on a mission and focus to achieve the goals they set out and failed at last year. Does it look like the WHO organization has brought in?
Yes, they look like they have a bit of an edge this spring. You won't know for sure. I won't know for sure until we get into August, because the dog days of summer, that's what really tests you. And I know the CBA, it's not like Bear Bryant back in the day where you're trying to kill kids at in Texas and at Bama. So it's different. But what I see from positionals, especially the offensive line, Keith Carter, they're going at it. And, all that noise about Keith Carter, the players hate him. Hey, I don't know what the situation is now. Becton's gone. That was the noisiest guy. But so far, I mean, I love the pace and the tempo. They're going at it in terms of OTAs. And especially the line, because they're breaking out some drills that, have your eyebrow raised and you go, okay, I mean, I like that. That's pretty hard for a June day or a May day.
Mr. Bonesy says, Robbie, how do you keep your hair so silky smooth?
It's a trick. It's a magic trick because it's thin hair. It's like, I need like the equivalent of Pantene for males because it's really thin and gray. I think the gray confuses a lot of people. It's like
you're a silver
Serby.
fox.
Steve Serby. Someone mentioned it to me at minicamp. Serby was there, and someone asked him, "What did Parcells used to call you? Silver Fox?" Parcells used to call him Silver Fox. So did a little hat tip to Serby. I copied his hairstyle. Bottom line is, Bonesy, my hair is not good. It's thin. It's awful. It's gray, but at least it's still there because if I lost it, that would be game over. I got a pointy head. You ever see Charles Barkley's head? It's like a pointy to the back, like a cone head. Someone's going to put me on one of the cone heads in a picture. I know that's going to happen now, but that's what my head looks like.
I think you have a tremendous head.
I'll take it. That's a good, that really got my day going. Thank you,
go.
Jake.
Hit the like button if you're a fan of Robbie Sabo's head. Things I never thought I'd be saying on a YouTube show.
I got a nice head.
About the DR Jets. Bodie says, Jake was up late celebrating the Celtics championship, LOL. I was on Mad Dog till 1 a.m. last night, and God, I just had to do basically a post-game show right after the game ended, and it just not fun. I
didn't even watch it. I got to be honest. I didn't even watch it.
Well, the game sucked. It was over in the first half.
Yeah, and usually I'll tune in. If I don't see the game, I'll tune in to see the celebration. But I said I'll just watch it on YouTube the next day. And I got through about 3 minutes. And I said, okay, I've seen this enough.
Tom says, pro tip, have the barber fade the sides, and it will look like you have more hair on top.
You know what's funny? We do that. And it's like I got a number 2 on the bottom, just trimmed up top. But I think I've hit an age where the bottom grows so much more quickly than the top. Really? Who did that?
You said number 2.
Yeah. Yeah,
no, sorry, I'm like 12 years old.
I actually thought it was an intrusion. I was like, what the
No. If V-Man was on the show, then maybe, but no.
Who's putting ketchup on their dinner? What's going on? Yeah, you know what? Who put that comment out there?
About your hair?
Yeah, no, about the number 2. About the fade.
Tom Ace.
Okay, Tom Ace. I'm gonna go for you. I'll go number 1 next time. Got to go haircut next week in number 1. So the ketchup, bottom of the barrel ketchup sound doesn't come up next time.
VR's comment made me laugh. Who did that? Robbie looks
Yeah, I mean, listen, Francesa, there's been some ketchup gate rumors around Francesa in his old age. So, it's par for the course these days.
Ricky says, V-Man has rumored you, Jake. I just laugh every time I watch back that clip.
You know what's funny? I was looking at something. I had a different tab open, so I couldn't see her face. So it was jarring because I didn't expect it, and I couldn't see your smiling face. Give it away.
All right, let's get back on track here. I got a guy on the line, Bobby. Or already ruined it. I got a guy on the line, Robbie, that will get us back on track. And it's
does Bobby sleep?
Bobby Midnight.
Well, I can't wear my freaking hat. It's hot, my balls will sweat. Oh, look, I have a fan. I'm Bobby. Robbie, join the crew. Graves, so Fox, join the crew.
Bobby, when do you sleep? How many hours of sleep do you get a night?
Well, last night I went to bed at 11:30, got up at 8 o'clock this morning. So
that's not bad. That's a solid 8 hours, man.
Yeah, very good. Jake,
Kudos.
how many do you have today?
What's that?
How many did Jake have last night?
Jake,
less than you, Bob, because I was working till 1 a.m.
I know. I felt bad that I didn't call in. My show lasted like 4 hours.
Well, I mean, your show never ends, so
After the 4th hour, I was getting tired. Johnny said, "Oh, Bobby could go on for another hour." Yeah, right. I'm going on for another hour.
What time does your show start today, Bobby?
I don't know if we're gonna have one at this time.
Really?
Bobby.
Shows up at the middle one. So maybe
you need Manfred to step in and create some new rules for you to cut it down from like 4 to 2.5 hours.
Well, no, I enjoyed it, but when I get tired, I get tired. Just tell them I get tired. So.
Yeah, you're not a workhorse. You're not a machine. You're a human, like the rest of us.
I am human. Yep. So it's nice to see you, Robbie.
You too.
It's always nice to see my friend Robbie and Jake. Yep, it's a beautiful morning. It's gonna be a hot one here in Vermont. What's so funny, Jake?
It's just love that you just called it to talk about the weather.
No, we talk about the Mets won. Good for Gary. He went to the game yesterday.
He did. I'm happy for Gary and his wife who were there.
14-2. They whipped out those Texas Rangers last night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
what's the whole
teams lost?
Bobby, what's the whole Grimace? What's the whole Grimace story with the Mets? I missed that, but I keep seeing Grimace pop up.
I don't know. They said like 6 days ago he threw out the first pitch, and then ever since the Mets have won since he threw out the first pitch. Yeah, the Grimace was from McDonald's.
Why the hell is Grimace throwing out the first pitch?
It's kind of ironic that Grimace turned around the Mets season, considering Gary, a Mets fan, despises McDonald's. The irony.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that very irony? I agree with Jake there. I do agree. Yeah.
Why do you hate McDonald's? What's the deal? I don't think I know this.
No, Gary does, not me. Gary.
Whoa. Gary, okay. I think you meant Bobby.
No, I love McDonald's. He hates. He likes gas station pizza over anything McDonald's, Burger King, and Wendy's. So
who is this? Gary.
Gas station pizza is better than a Big Mac.
Oh,
yeah, so that's Gary.
He might be a psychopath for that one.
Well, he was a boxer and he got hit too many times in the head. So, well, the other day he called a Jake show and he talked 20 minutes about the Mets. Then the second show, Jake, did I call in today? Yeah, well, you called in for 20 minutes talking about the Jets. So he does admit he has some brain stuff. So
Brain
stuff happens. That's why I don't like talking boxing on my channel.
Because of brain stuff.
For just a little while, then that's it. So I let people else come on. I'll talk to you later. You go on this afternoon. You're gonna be.
Oh, you know it, Bobby.
All right, I'll go on after you then.
All right.
Because what's his name? Boy Green has the 1 o'clock show. I don't want to step on his show.
You should just call into his show.
No, I don't think they take call-ins.
They don't take call-ins.
Not with Rudy.
What about this morning? Did you call in this morning?
Yeah, that's different. Rudy and him don't take call-ins. I don't think so.
All right,
Bobby, do you ever call into WFAN or Sirius?
Oh yeah, I love that. Yeah, I remember we did the Knoble. I called in Keith McPherson that night. You remember? You don't remember?
I remember Knoble. Yeah.
All right, let's go back to Bob in Vermont.
I wanted to ask you, what do you think the Jets and Giants will do on the draft, your choices? And also, do you ever hear of a player from college called Knoble?
Knoble? From what school?
College.
Yeah, but what college?
It's just college. Do you ever hear that guy's name?
No, I've never heard of Knoble from college. Knoble from college? What position does he play?
He plays offense and defense.
He plays offense and defense? He's a two-way guy?
Yep, that's what he said.
How do you spell the last name?
Knoble. I can't remember how you spell it. It starts with K, I know that.
Okay, because I'm spelling it wrong on Google.
No, Knoble.
Thanks for the call, Bob. I do not know who Knoble is. Maybe somebody listening knows of a player, a two-way player coming out of college that gives you like 300 options. Look at that zoo. He's just laughing. I'm trying to find out. A two-way player plays offense and defense. Knoble is coming.
Yes.
You don't remember that one? And then
that's the first time I heard that. Oh, literal McPherson. Oh, literal.
Bobby, good morning. How are you?
First, the Jets, okay? Mm-hmm. I wanted to see what you think about the Jets draft choice, and I got a choice that you might wanted to hear from. Like Knoble from college, he's supposed to be good. He plays both ways. He's from college. Do you ever hear of the guy?
Bob, you know what? I got to be honest with you, and I thank you for the phone call. There's a lot of guys who play in college. I'm not familiar with that name that you threw out there, to be quite honest with you. You guys know who he was talking about? Because it totally escaped my mind. The two-way prospect playing Ironman football, which, like I said, not too familiar with there.
It went on so much further than I ever thought could be possible. It's some of the best shit I've ever seen.
Plenty on the table. Up to Vermont we go. It's Bob. It's the fan. What's going on, Bobby?
Hey, Moose. I heard about this player called Knoble from college. Do you ever hear Knoble from college?
No. Who's that?
His name is Knoble. He plays both ways from college.
No, I don't know who you're talking about.
You never heard of Knoble?
No. And Bob, thanks a lot for the call. It's been forever.
Yeah, Mark Malusis is one of my best friends.
Dude, your poker face is beyond. I mean, you're sour.
Well, I couldn't believe I didn't crack up on McPherson. So
who was the second person? Who was the second
Jake
show?
West. Jake West called in.
No. That's how he's talking about.
Oh, that's on his show, ESPN guy.
Dan Grasso, who filled in for
Grasso.
Kay and
Okay.
Rosenberg.
Yeah, voice of the Jets. Yeah.
Yep.
But guess who I could call in now on CBS? Could call on to talk to Boomer.
Did anybody fill McPherson, Grasso, or Malusis in on the joke or no?
Oh, Hector screwed that out for me that time. He met him at the Yankee game and says, "Oh, you know who called him Bobby? That was a joke." He screwed that one, Hector from
Obi-Wan Knoble.
Bobby, excellent call out of you today. Thank you.
All right, we'll talk to you later, guys.
You got it,
later, Bobby.
Well, I have my own YouTube show. If I'm awake, I'm going live. Ballistic has a show. Bobby.
What a moment in time when our listeners pranked both major radio stations in this town over a two-way prospect from college.
I didn't even know
known as
about
Knoble.
this. I didn't even. I mean, that is just legendary. That's sour shoe stuff right there. Like
Tyrone with a super chat for us. It'd be nice to give Reddick 2 years. I don't think they're gonna do 2 years plus this year. Could I see them tacking on a year next year? I could see that. So then I guess his total contract left, if you count this year, would be 2 years. I just don't see the Jets giving out like a multi-year extension to him.
No, me neither. And I think Douglas, and I agree with him. I think I only want him for this year on a prove-it year deal. I'd rather not add on another year, but if I have to, I will. I have no qualms about it. But perfect scenario, just this year is what I want.
Yeah, I'm 100% with you right now. Chef Kevin writes in, Jake, great show as always. Love the content. Robbie, you're the man. Which player position group gives you the most confidence going into training camp?
DBs. I mean, the DBs have been, I think, the best in the league since Sauce arrived. I think, DJ Reed, Carter, Sauce, best trio in the league, if not the best, right up there. Safeties, Tony Adams and Chuck Clark. And you got some decent depth with Isaiah Oliver, Ashton Davis, and JBC, who's running more corner again. But you got backups with Stiggers, JBC, Eccles. So I love the DBs. It is as rock solid as any group. And I'm actually trying to do something on Tony Adams right now, film-wise, where he hasn't gotten there yet, but his ceiling is so elite based on his ability to cover man on man. And that's what you want out of a safety in today's NFL. Man coverage, because of how versatile it is and pass happy, and it shuts down matchups. So if he could reach that ceiling and hit it somewhat, they're going to go from scary good to just filthy good.
Big fella with a super chat. Any news on Kinlaw and Fotu? I'm high on Fotu.
I mean, not much yet. It's tough to evaluate before camp hits because they're not live. They're in shorts most of the time. And I tweeted it out yesterday, I think. I'm still very suspect of this run D because the volume last year was really heavy. And the more the volume goes up, it means you're trailing in games. And it means the opposition is not scared of your offense, which they weren't. So, a 4-point lead isn't the same against an offense you're not scared of as opposed to an offense you're scared of. And when the volume goes up, you could guess run a lot more on defense. And I think that situation happened a lot, which made their rush per attempt numbers better defensively. And it won't be like that this year, if Rodgers stays healthy. So I'm a little worried. And Kinlaw and Leakey have to really, bring their A game. And I wouldn't be surprised if they pick up another interior defensive lineman this summer.
Well, they certainly have some guys competing for spots too in-house. Some UDFA guys that have maybe made an impression. I just have McGregor, right? I just have a lot of faith in the coaches they have on that side of the ball to draft and develop guys, basically.
Yes, me too. And as a unit, I have a lot of faith, especially because of how good the coverage is and how stable the linebackers are, the two linebackers. And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to crap all over the D line. Great in terms of pinning the ears back. I'm a little worried about the run D, and hopefully I see signs this summer to make me not worry so much. And it's a scheme thing too. The scheme they play where they attack gaps and they never two gap it and they go right downhill. You're susceptible. It's high risk, high reward. You get a lot of tackles for loss, but you'll give up some chunks in the run game at times. So it's scheme wise as well. And you saw it. We saw it 2 years ago when the Colts gashed them in prime time. There were a lot of examples where they got gashed in the run game. But if Leakey could come to this year with his two gapping 3-4 style in certain situations, I'll feel a lot better.
NY Jets Florida is our next caller on the Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline. What's up, NY?
Good morning, gentlemen. Jake, I'm surprised you didn't ask Bobby about increasing the female demographics because he's at a 20% level last night's show on Bobby's show. He had 2 out of 10 guests that were female. So
they know
he may be the guy to ask about demographics. Robbie,
Look,
I got a question for you.
The ladies love Bobby. The ladies love Bobby.
And he, Bobby is definitely a ladies' man. But Robbie, let me ask you a question. So everyone asks you, we were on the hair question, and I am bald. Okay, there's nothing wrong with being bald. I heard. By the way, I heard you laugh for the first time, a real laugh out loud, which was nice to hear, Robbie. We didn't know anything about belly laughs. Would you commit right now, if the Jets won a Super Bowl, would you shave your head as a celebratory, a celebration?
You sick bastard.
Do something crazy.
God, you sick bastard. I will. Okay, I'll go. I'll say yes, but you got to give me a little room for hair. Like I'll go as buzzed as I could possibly go. How about that?
Okay, I like that. At least you're willing to do that kind of thing. And,
yes,
and be with,
I'll agree to it. But just give me a little bit of fuzz. Lock it up. Bookmark it. Just a little bit of fuzz. I'll go that far.
All right. Hey, Robbie, as a fan, are you almost as bored as we are at this time of year? I mean, like there's nothing really happening in terms of other than the drama that supposedly we have on the Jets. Are you bored as a writer?
I got to be honest. It's conflicting. Bored in one way, yes, but day to day, hour to hour, no. It's heaven because I grew up a fan. The Bruce Coslet teams were the teams I remember first. But once you start covering them and you're in-house and you get close to it, your fandom's still there in a way, but your objective side overtakes it so much more. So while I always want to see them win, and I haven't really been tested because they haven't been good. So if they're really good, it'll be a true test. The objective side takes over and all the website stuff I have to do with the apps and the development. Around this time is when my misery peaks because then I get more development stuff done, if that makes sense. So it's a little boredom with no headlines and no football, but it's also, relief and, get some stuff done that I need to get done.
Got it. I appreciate your content, Jake, as always. I didn't ask you, Jake, to shave your head. So maybe that'll come later in the year if you had a few drinks, a few hennies.
Look, I'd shave my head if you guarantee me a Jets Super Bowl. No questions asked.
Yes, if you guaranteed it, I would do that too.
Okay. You guys have a good day.
NY, you as well. From NY Jets, Florida, to Tommy. He joins us now. Hello, Tommy.
Hello, Jake. Hello, Robbie. You
What's
guys
up, Tommy?
you guys are the two real OGs right here.
Yeah, we're for the people.
I'm just the OG from '85, man. I don't know anyone that's more hardcore than me of a Jet fan. That's why I put that to start. Before I even joined this channel, I had OG Jet fan 1985 because I grew up in North Jersey, all around Giant fans.
Yes.
So when I was in middle school, we would literally bet on everything from basketball games to arm wrestling to, anything you can imagine, Jets versus Giants. And back when I was in middle school, I'll be 39. So like my prime was with, Curtis Martin, Vinny Testaverde, Wayne Corbett, all that era. And we were tearing it up against the Giants. I mean, we never really got to the big, promised land game, but when in my era, man, the Jets had some wins against the Giants, and then of course they played New England in the 2 Super Bowls, and I had to root for the Giants because I couldn't root for New England, and I gave up to my friends.
Yeah, but, I used to hate the Giants growing up, and when Eli came and they knocked off the Pats, I mean that hate was no longer there, for sure.
Right. The only thing is though that Francesa, I don't even listen to him, but he's the thing that makes you hate Giant fans. People like him that hate on the Jets.
The Rex teams, he used to play it up to get Jets fans really angry during those Rex eras, during those Rex teams.
Yeah. Robbie, I want to ask you a question. I wrote it in the chat, but, we're booming with Asmaniacs. Do you think, Jake, Malachi Corley, I said it right?
Didn't you call him Macaroni, right?
Macalai.
Oh, yeah, Macalai. You called him like
Macalai. His name's all right, Malachi Corley, my man. Do you think that, I remember Jeremy Curley. How like he was a solid slot, like strong little man, and like he did good for us for a couple years. Do you think he has his potential, or even can grow better, like to be like a Jericho Cotchery per se, who supported Lavernius Coles? And also, one thing before you cut me off, Robbie, never get rid of the hair, brother. I love it. You could always get at the sides a little bit, like they said, to get the top right, and then you always put that copper John in. My thing was always the beard. I lost hair. I still have the hair, but the receding hairlines. It went back after high school. I used to have the spiky, Italian little look, and I just gave away with that. And then I started growing like the beard all thick and nice. But then the beard started getting gray hairs in a matter of 1 year. So like
that beard,
I need that
beard,
Johns.
That beard was weird. The Keith Hernandez and Clyde Frazier commercials. Nah, dude, the hair. I'll rock this hair all the time. It's just,
definitely.
I need a haircut. That's the thing, because the bottoms grow so much quicker than the top with that.
And you ever see them fake hats? They have the hat, but it's the fake hair. Do they still have them? It's like you put on the hat, and then it's like a big whole nice fake hair. You ever seen them things?
I haven't planned on robbing a bank recently.
Yo, but listen, guys, it's a beautiful day. Robbie, you're the man. Jake, you're the man. I love listening to you guys every day. I'm glad I could tune in today. They laid me off today. It's all good. I rest up and I work the rest of the week. But out in the park, enjoying the day, and gonna get a little bit of food. Robbie, keep doing you, man. You're excellent. I love listening to you. And Jake, as always, brother, I'm tuning into you later. And I got to catch up on your last 5 p.m. show at Buffalo right after this. So have a blessed day, guys. All right.
Appreciate you, Tommy. So I don't see any comp between Curly and Corley, for the record.
No.
Maybe their names, when you say them both aloud, sound somewhat similar, but like
true.
Like the comp for Malachi Corley is Debo Samuel as far
Correct.
as a player.
Not even Cotchery. I don't see a comp with Cotchery either. I mean, they're both bigger bodies, but that's about it. Debo
Jericho Cotchery, easily one of the most underrated Jets of all time.
100%. And folks, I even mentioned Cotchery the other day in a tweet when Jets fans were losing their minds at what I said about Gibson over Corley right now. If you had the same attitude, you would have given up on Cotchery after his first year. He didn't do anything as a Jet his first 2 years. And then suddenly Mangini comes in and he's starting right away. So let Corley grow, let him do his thing.
Yeah, look, when you think back to some of the better receivers in Jets history, Jericho Cotchery never gets talked about, but he was as solid and clutch as they come.
He's in the top 10 for sure. He's in the top 10, I would say, for sure, in Jets history.
Big fella with a good comp. I would sign for this. The comp for Corley to me is Steve Smith. Sign me up for that.
Yeah.
Sign me up for that. Bill says, remember the catch that Cotchery made versus the Browns midfield with an injury? Yeah, Sanchez, key, what was that? I think it was like a key 3rd and long. They don't win that game without that catch. Yeah, I mean, Cotchery had so many big moments, man. He had a huge catch and run and the upset win over the Patriots in 2010.
Yes.
I mean, Cotchery's a baller, man.
That was up against the gun, too. I think New England had just scored to make it a 1-possession game, I think. And the place is going nuts. And just a quick little inbreaker, I think, to Cotchery, and he ran down the right sideline.
One last call for Robbie before we let him run. VR is up next. What's up, VR?
Hey, what's up, guys? Enjoy your stuff. Jake, always you're the best. Robbie, enjoy your information. You always come and bring it with all the information, especially all the stuff that is like current. You guys are talking about Malachi Corley. Fun fact, he grew up about one town over from where I live in Orange City, Florida. And he is strong. I don't know if you saw the video of him bench pressing 27 times at 225. I think the Jets just went out and drafted like big, strong guys between him and the pictures of Braylon Allen in that jersey. I mean, we drafted some Terminators, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, I'm just going to say, and even in the trenches, too. I mean, they knew they got pushed around too much last year, and they needed to get bigger, and that's what they did.
I know there's not a lot to talk about. We're in the middle of June, but I had some fun questions for you. The first one is, do you play fantasy football at all?
Oh, dude, yes. And I've been playing since not me personally, but my dad was playing in the late 80s, early 90s when you had to rely on primetime, Berman and Tom Jackson. If you missed a touchdown, you were screwed. You didn't know if you won until the next day. So that was my introduction.
Yeah, I mean, I've been playing since rotisserie baseball. So I mean, like back in the day,
It's like late 70s, early 80s. Jeez.
Yeah, late 80s for me. But when we used to put the stuff on the board, with the whiteboard. And
did you do Prodigy? Remember Prodigy baseball?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like right after that or whatever. I was living actually in the Bay Area. We used to use that as well.
Yeah.
Fantasy football question: who do you draft? Breece Hall or Garrett Wilson? Now, I've been asking this because some people, go with the RBBC method, and the others.
Yeah.
It tells me a lot about a person, and I figure I'd make it Jet-centric.
The answer is yes. You take both of them.
Yeah, you take both of them. But in today's fantasy football world, even redraft, dynasty definitely receiver, redraft receivers king these days. You can't rely on running backs. So
Right.
I lean towards receiver most times. It depends on the situation, obviously, but if it's the first round, I'm leaning on receiver. And Garrett Wilson won't be a first rounder, but generally speaking, I'm going receiver.
I've been seeing in 12 team drafts, his ADP has been anywhere between 8 and 12. So
is it really that high?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. I mean, like recently that I've been looking at those. So
I haven't looked at one thing fantasy yet. That's crazy.
Yeah, he's been going early. The other question I have, a fun question, was if you cover the New York Jets and kind of the players that are in camp right now, if there was one new New York Jet in camp right now that you would have to take on a cross-country trip, who would that Jet be?
Does Bobby count?
Bobby.
He's a new Jets fan. No worries.
I'd probably go. It would be either Sauce or Rogers.
Sauce would be my choice. Yeah,
it would be one of those two. It'll be a tough one. Flip of a coin between those two.
Gotcha. That's all I got, fellas. Great show. Love your content. Have a great day.
VR, you have a special day, man. You have a magical day. I love it. Tom says Bobby, Charles Lane on a cross-country trip. Sign me up. The content we'd get out of those three. Oh, man.
Hey, IRL, baby. IRL.
Let's see.
Bobby should just set up a camera in his house 24/7 and just live like the Truman Show.
Well, his show is basically that now. Like, he's just live for 4 to 5 hours at a clip when I'm not on.
So you see bathroom breaks and, ordering.
He turns his camera off for that one. He doesn't go full V, man.
Ordering DoorDash, doing all that stuff.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty wild. Yeah. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in right now. Robbie, this was an absolute blast, man. What is up with JetsXFactor.com this week? And I will say this, I'll plug it early. Saturday at 11 a.m., Jets X Factor's own Joe Blewett will be coming on the show for a very special film review. So we got Blewett coming on later this week.
Nice. Breaking down that film. I got a Tony Adams thing coming, but it's slow going because I'm dealing with Apple right now with our mobile app. It's been a pain in the ass. But all the good stuff. JetsXFactor.com, JetX Mobile on the App Store and Google Play.
Well said. Robbie, I will talk to you soon. Appreciate your time as always.
Take care, guys. Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, the great Robbie Sabo. All right, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to play a clip, and when we come back, I'll stay on a little while longer for more of your calls, super chats, some channel memberships maybe will be gifted. And during this commercial break, I need everyone to do the following. Think about what emoji should be our next one. We're open for all ideas. Be right back. Enjoy a recap of the controversial Poopgate. Hello, V-Man.
It's just this. I've said this 1,000 times. I'll say this again. This is just the media being the media.
V-Man, it is tough to listen to football takes from you when it appears like you're sitting on the toilet taking a crap. I hope you're not.
No, I'm not.
All right, that's good to know. Thank you for the clarification.
Yeah, no, I know. I was just getting myself ready for the day.
Where are you right now?
Yeah, yes, you're right. I'm in my rest. I'm in my bathroom. I was just finished brushing my teeth.
So you are in the bathroom.
Yeah.
So there is a possibility that you were just crapping.
No. No, I'm not.
I don't know, V-Man. This is it's not exactly a very convincing case we have going on right now.
No, look. Okay, let's just get back to this because
I don't know if we can. I don't think we can.
Look. All right. Just get back to talking football. It's not about giving you news. Like I said, the key is just avoiding the bull crap.
If anyone knows about bull crap, I would say it would be you, V-Man.
All right. Okay, yeah.
I think we have a real controversy, V-Man. They're already calling this Poopgate in the comments.
No.
He stinks.
May God strike me down right now with lightning. I was not using the toilet.
All right. Look, V-Man, you never steered me wrong before. I think you do have to acknowledge, though, the evidence was not great for you.
Yeah, no, I should have waited till I was like finished.
That would make sense.
Was what I said wrong?
I don't know what you said. I was just focused on the idea that you called in live from taking a crap.
Well, basically that, the media doesn't give a crap about giving you the media doesn't care.
Taking a crap. Oh, yeah.
Okay, the media doesn't care about giving you the honest stories anymore. All it does is about chasing trendy hot takes to get you to click on their videos or their art or their internet articles so that they can generate ad revenue and make money.
V-Man, is it true that you have a bidet?
No. Can we get off the bathroom stuff? No, I want to. Do you agree my take is accurate?
I think it's a crappy take.
Am I accurate with what I said?
You know what? I've had a crap day. Let me think about it.
That's the end of that V-Man call. Now he can go back to sleeping.
That right there is what makes this show a show. Anyone can give jet takes. Not every YouTube channel has a V-Man live from the John. You can't make it up, folks. V-Man, you might need to change the name. Gonzo says, V-Man, how about a courtesy flush? Ryan says, we just need to wipe this Rogers story clean. Snowball, V-Man is not full of bleep anymore. Jay says, V-Man is full of crap. Well, not anymore, Jay.
I got a suggestion for V-Man if he's waiting online. When I go to the bathroom, I turn the camera off and the microphone off. So that's a suggestion for...
You hear that, V-Man?
Turn off your camera and your mic. So
V-Man?
I'll say it again. I was not on the toilet.
You stand by it.
I was getting myself ready. The lid was down. I was just sitting on the lid.
So, but you were sitting on the toilet.
But not using it.
This is actually, I don't think, helping your case, V-Man, because earlier you didn't say that you were sitting on the toilet at all. Now you're saying you were sitting on the toilet, and I find it hard to believe you weren't using the toilet.
I'm a terrible liar, so if I was lying, you would know it.
What are your thoughts on people saying your calls are all gas, no brakes?
That's fine. That's real rich. You're like, Mendo un cocotazo. Give me un cocotazo.
What?
Someone in the chat will translate what un cocotazo means.
Is Todd Bowles your favorite coach?
Come on, no.
Come on. Do you think you're doing a good job trying to wipe this controversy away?
We just stop with the toilet buttons. You want to know what?
V-Man, would you say this is a stain on your legacy?
We just knock this off for like...
To be fair to the chat, you got to let us get it out of our system for at least a day.
But I'll put this on the record so people know my position.
About famous?
No. People have asked me. People people see my Puerto Rican T-shirts.
I don't think anyone's asking you about your position today. I think they're asking you about Poopgate.
I was not using the bathroom. Also, on my position in Puerto Rico.
V-Man, thank you for the time today. You want to talk about controversies with the Jets? Rodgers missing 2 practices in June. That's not a real story. V-Man and Poopgate, maybe the biggest story involving the Jets besides Reddick's contract right now. Let's be real.
That's what I do when I have to go to the bathroom.
What a call there. Here's the question I have for you, V-Man. A lot of people have been speculating on this Poopgate situation. Do you have any further comments on it?
No, I do not have any further comments on it. I cannot focus with those sound effects. I cannot concentrate on the bass line with the sound effects.
That's you making that noise.
Please. No, I don't. What are you, my mother?
Your Bob makes fart sound effects?
I'm not going to play. It's probably best that I don't do it.
Well, this call got V-Man, thank you very much for the time.
All right.
Is V-Man originally from Flushing, Queens? I'm still laughing at that, man. What a moment. Someone called V-Man Stink Floyd. That's great. Stink Floyd. That is incredible. It was Rich who came up with that. That's brilliant. We have some of the funniest callers, man. Funniest commenters. Stick Floyd. Oh, man. Sco says V-Man poop emoji. What does that look like, though? How do we design that? That's the question. Oh, my God. Too funny. Drew writes in, Breece Hall deserves an emoji. Let's be honest. You're not wrong. Maybe Breece Hall is our next emoji. Man. JT says a shit emoji with V-Man's head on top. That actually might work. That's good. Man. Some good ideas out there. Last chance to get in. Comments, questions, super chats. I'm excited to share that our next song we debut on the show, perhaps this afternoon, will be a Allen diss track put together by Jets Johnny and our guy Will Monahan. So we have more music, more raps coming. So be on the lookout for that. Big fella says a Neil cigar emoji. Well, Neil's emoji is him smoking a cigar already. Gator with a toilet emoji. What if we put a toilet emoji with V-Man's head on top of the toilet? Would that work? That's the question. Man. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Shout out to the Asmaniac who just bought a Hugo House hat during the commercial break because I got the email that my code was used. All right. Last chance to get in before we wrap here. Big fella wants to know, where's the Scott emoji? The Scott emoji should be there. Is it not? The Scott hair emoji? I'll add it back if it got mistakenly replaced by something, but it should be there. Doesn't look like it is. So I'll add that right after the show. We have a Scott emoji. It's his hair. Addison says emoji Nick Shine and Charles standing back to back.
There's been a lot of you out there asking about who he be. Well, he's about to let you know.
He's Charles. This rap is so hot, you'll play it on a loop. You'll never get the recipe for chicken noodle soup. Super a spider or even a bat. Got nothing on me or Bobby with his hat. Lady's gotta be a 10 if I'm gonna date her. Shout out to my homie, his name is Gator. I'm Charles.
To all you other guys trying to rap on Jake's show, got nothing on this guy and his flow.
He's Charles. These bars be so hot, I'll get invited on Fallon. You know who won't? That hater, Allen. My comic book and movie takes are so hot and wild. Since my last verse, Johnny had another child. My YouTube is blowing up and I'm becoming a star. Like takes are fresh like the clothes on VR. I'm Charles.
Jets, Yankees, comics, hip-hop, nobody compares when it comes to him.
He's Charles. I see everyone on Jake's show trying to prop bars. I'm the only one jumping over cars. Blowski calls the show and he's always really loud. Shout out to Nick, you know he'd be proud. I don't like Zach or his family, they're Mormon. First name Charles, last name Gorman. I'm Charles, motherfucker.
You just witnessed the debut of a proud New York Jet fan and a Jake Asman production. Brought to you by the man, the myth, the legend himself.
I'm Charles.
Yeah, let's go, Charles. Love it. Absolutely love it. Folks, I don't know what's gotten into the audience. An hour and 15 minutes in, it is all of a sudden raining channel memberships. William Sprague making it rain. And ladies and gentlemen, it's time to debut something we like to call a Sprague spree.
I am the master of the Sprague spree. Take this, Jake, you little bitch.
Yeah, William coming through. 5 names. You hear your name, you thank William. Jesus Jerry, Will Sater, Dana Russell, Tim Johnson, Robert D. You guys are officially as maniacs. That's not all. Felix Campos making it rain with more memberships.
Show me the money. Show me the money! Money, money, money.
Yeah.
5 more names. Dr. V-Man, John B., Braden NZL, Zach Tendler, BLK Jesus. You guys are all channel members. Boom. Congratulations. 10 members added in a span of 2 minutes right there. Shout out to William. I hope you enjoy your Sprague spree video, Williams. The least we could do. Thanks for your incredible support. Derek says, off topic, thoughts on Ben Rice being called up. Is he holding on to first base? If he hits, I mean, I like that the Yankees are giving him a chance. If he hits, he'll get a chance to play. Rizzo's out 4 to 6 weeks. This could force the Yankees' hand as far as adding another bat at the deadline, which I think they need to. That and probably a reliever or so. So I'm in 100%. I like it. I mean, Ben Rice has been hitting for a while now in the minors. Give him a chance. It's a big series starting tonight against Baltimore. There's no doubt about it. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now officially raining memberships. How about 10 memberships from Felix?
Money, 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 money.
That's No Ghost, Joey Bad, Philip Hannon, Stu Lowry, Antonio Ambroso, George Curtis, Mike Rotonda, Eric Kelly, Howie from Jets HQ, and Sean Mahoney. You guys are all channel members. Open phone lines here. I'll stay on a little while longer. If anyone has never called before, they want to make their debut as a first-time caller, you will literally go right to the front of the line. Let me plug the Patreon, patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. All the details you need about the Long Island meetup are in there. We're working on a couple big surprises for that have not been announced, so I'm hoping to confirm that within the next day or so, but it will be a lot of fun. Come hang out with us and join our Patreon to get involved in the Discord. Big Fella says, Jake, how are the Yankees going to fit Dominguez back into the lineup after he comes back from the minors? Well, now he's on the injured list. I don't think there's a fit for Dominguez unless there's an injury in the outfield. I mean, who are you sitting down right now? Right? Like, it's tough. You want to see Dominguez out there, but there's no real spot for him at this point in time. Mr. Bonesy says, Gator, can we please have Leany's clip from Bobby Show saying, is this Mike D's nuts when he gives? That is a pretty funny line by Leany. Jesus says, Jake, how about a poop ghost as an emoji? Man. Jimbo says, thoughts on Garrett Cole starting on Wednesday. I'm excited, Jimbo. I'm very excited. I said it on the radio on Sunday. If he's healthy, pitch him. He's healthy. He wants to go. Why waste bullets in the minor leagues? He could help you win a huge series against the Orioles. So I'm glad they're pitching him. Legacy says, Cult of Asmaniacs, new album out soon. We have close to 10 tracks on an album already. We will be putting out an album at some point here. It's pretty unbelievable. Sears says, are you going to the Yankee game, Jake? I am not. I am not. I will be watching on the television. T-Town says, Jake, if you want V-Man to come to your fundraiser, tell him there will be crabs. Come on, man. Now, here's a great suggestion from the big fella. A broken phone emoji for JJ. If you caught yesterday's show, JJ called in and I said, here we go. Bad phone line. This won't last long. And he goes, no, my connection's great. It's fine. We got about a minute into the call. And what happened? JJ's phone crashed. As is tradition. Freaking Sweet says, will you do any meetups in Jersey in the future? Yeah, definitely. This summer at training camp. Want to do a show from a bar or a restaurant out there? Definitely. It's in the works. Let's see. Rich says, hit the like. Couldn't agree more with you, Rich. Couldn't agree more. Ladies and gentlemen, Gator has just sent me what I think will be maybe our best emoji ever. Oh, my God. I'm going to add this right now for those who are sticking around. Folks, you asked for it. And the great Gator McCluskey, who always delivers for the Asmaniacs, might have delivered the likes of which we have never seen before. Adam, with a super chat of $1.99. Thank you. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add this emoji right now because it is so funny. Everyone needs to see it live. While I add that emoji, rather than just give you dead air of me doing nothing, why don't we play this? Because the emoji I'm about to add is related to this guy, Mr. V-Man.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for Bass, and Jake. Get it started, Gator.
Bass, and Jake. Bass, and Jake. Bass, and Jake. Bass, and Jake.
Well, Super Chat's always cut the line. And the Boyalo dances really fine.
When she's so chucking and back them jets.
My senorita, you know she gets real happy.
Real happy if that female hookers are rhyme.
Hey, Gator, it's a family show.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Bass, and Jake. Bass, and Jake. Bass, and Jake. Bass, and Jake.
Folks, it is officially live. You asked for it. You received it. Ladies and gentlemen, check the Asmaniac emojis, and you will see, if you refresh your browser, our newest emoji. An emoji that is being called the V-Man on the toilet pooping emoji, a.k.a. V-Man poop emoji. It is in there. It is live. And it is now available for every Asmaniac to use. Shout out to V-Man for making it possible by calling us live from the John. That emoji is live. If you want to see what it looks like, check your screen right now as I am uploading it for everyone to see what it looks like. There it is. Also, as I see someone in the comment section, ISU made this point. When someone's giving a crappy take on the show, you can start hitting this emoji, and everyone will know exactly what you mean. This is too funny. This is exactly what I figured June Jets Talk would be on the show. I'm already seeing everyone use it in the comment section. This is too funny. V-Man. God. I don't think he's watching live because he hasn't called it. He's going to hate me. Unbelievable. Boomtown says this is the crappiest emoji I've ever seen. Man. It's amazing. Unreal. Oh, my God. All right. We've had our fun. Rich says, thanks for the great entertainment in June. Thanks for watching, Rich. Bill says, you plan to be at Jets camp live shows. I don't think we'll be live specifically from training camp, but I plan to go live right after some of these practices, especially if I'm there. Find a local spot in Florham Park to do the show from. Benny says, I just tuned in to see the new emoji. We debuted a couple things in this show today. The Spake Spray and the V-Man poop emoji. Nothing like it, folks. The question has to be asked. Bonesy's asking it. Who is the king of crappy takes? Alan, JJ, or Gary? I think the answer is yes. Big fella says, how far away are we from the next emoji? I could check that for you right now. Stand by, big fella. This might be my favorite one, though. Maybe it's recency bias, but this is pretty good. I think we're 139 away from a 35th emoji. So let's double check that just to make sure. 139. So we'll get there. Slow and steady wins the race. VR says, let's hope that V-Man's takes are solid. Rich says, should have floated this idea past V-Man. Ricky, Jake, that V-Man call was all gas, no brakes. God. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike D's nuts.
Is this Mike D's nuts?
We now have 3 videos for Mike D's nuts.
Hey, thank you, Mike D's nuts for another gifted membership.
And this one?
Hey, thank you, Mike D's nuts for another gifted membership. Hey.
And this one.
Is this Mike D's nuts?
Amazing. Too funny. What did I want to play? I don't even remember. Mike D's nuts says, how do I update the emojis on the app? Just refresh your browser, Mike, and it should be there. Unreal. All right. Content plan for the afternoon. We will be back probably around 3:34 p.m. Eastern today. So stay tuned in the Discord for the official announcement there. Turn on notifications so you'll know. Proud NY Jets fan. It's our guy, Nick Shine, who writes, appreciate all the love and feedback for the video. Jake, you're the man. Second to Charles, of course. There's nobody like Charles Eugene M. Gorman III. Nobody. Nobody. All right. That just about does it. I want to thank everyone who tuned in. Thanks to Robbie, who joined us for the first hour of today's show. A lot of fun. As Maniacs, you guys were great. There's always something going on with this channel, even in June, when the Jets don't have anything going on. We find something. So appreciate you guys for your support. Be back later in the afternoon. Hope everyone enjoys the rest of their day. I simply will say this on the way out. Jets, 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 Jets.
Hey, Robert, thanks for taking my question. With Zach starting again Sunday, does he have any compromising photos of you or someone else in the organization?
No, it's a fair question, Jake. I'm going to take the 5th on that one.
What the hell is this going backwards bullshit? You don't go backwards. You throw the ball out of bounds with your big goddamn arm, and you go back in the fucking huddle.
No, it's a fair question, Neil.
This is bullshit.
Jose Feliciano, the blind Puerto Rican guitarist, can see that he is terrible.
This kid does not want to run with the ball.
Are you kidding me? This is the shit I'm talking about. You bitch his ass. You did his ass on my damn field.
No, it's a fair question, King.
The 3rd damn year we are seeing this in Naptown.
He's not trying to win the goddamn game.
You gotta be kidding me. Send his ass the fuck down.
I could have made 20 yards with that goddamn hole.
If your quarterback cannot play in the NFL, they get rid of him.
Oh, there's one of his 27-second throws. Oh, it's amazing. I don't give a shit.
If you cannot play football, get your ass off the field.
And walk around and wipe Rodgers' ass because that's all you're good for.
And you're sitting here defending this bullshit.
If I see Zach Wilson go on that field, me and Lowski are going out personally, and we're going to take his ass off the field.
It is torture, man.
God damn it.
All right, thanks, guys.